Hi teachers, welcome to week 10 in Principles and Practices of Middle School. I am looking forward to reading your papers on your tour and interview. And as I said last week when I did change the due date. That is great if you've already submitted it. It's just that I will definitely have them back to you as soon as possible with feedback. But what we're going to get into is The Power of Student Design Curriculum. I love this book, and I really do. I hope you're enjoying this class as much as I am. I've learned so much, and hopefully you will be able to take many of the ideas and apply them to your future or current middle level classroom. The first thing I'd like for you to do is I'm asking you to go to learner.org. I've got the direct link to it, but Annenberg Learner is another wonderful resource for educators. What we're going to look at here is a video, and it is a little bit older, about Audrey, year 1, and she was a social studies teacher who ends up teaching 8th grade science for the first time. The way that she handles her class and what she does correlates so well with what information you're going to be reading in Chapter 9 in our Brown and Knowles book. I've got the discussion questions up for you. I have them as a Google Doc, so you can go ahead and download it. What I'd like for you to do is please choose 2 of the reflection questions that were in our book, and then after you've watched the case studies in science education, which I want you to do this before you do the reading in the text. See how that correlates with what you're reading there. I put down there, I just want to hear your thoughts on possibilities of curriculum integration and how you can make that happen. While I was doing my research online, I found an excellent resource that I thought you might be interested in learning more about. It's called Self-Organized Learning Environment, and again, it aligns very well with what you're going to hear on curriculum integration in Chapter 9. I hope that you enjoy and that you've learned something new from Soul, and then also you're able to see something. If you have any questions, please post them to the D2L discussion area. I look forward to reading your papers within the next 2 weeks. Also, one thing I did want to point out before I forget is I do have a sign-up sheet for when you'd like to post your inquiry project. That brings me to think about what I'd planned on doing with the Glogster and service learning, as this chapter talks about as well. I would like to hear your thoughts on how we can design an assignment that involves using Glogster and service learning, developing something that you could see yourself using once you're teaching middle school. So rather than say, I was originally going to make a Glogster project and say, I would like for you to create a Glogster project for your students, but then I realized I wanted to do something with service learning. I thought, well, let's tie the 2 together. And so I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great week.